Hi guys, a couple of people have asked, because I handle my own blades quite often on my videos, they've asked if I clean my sword after every video. The short answer is yes, but the longer answer is no, not really always. And the basic reason why I don't clean all my swords every single time I handle them on video is because all of my swords have a slight oily residue on them, and to be honest, if I handle most of my swords I get a bit of oil on my hand, but I'm not really getting any of my finger grease on the blades. And in case you haven't seen my earlier video on the topic, you don't really want to handle carbon steel blades, especially if they're dry without oil on them. You don't really want to handle them very much with your bare hands and then just leave them and not clean them afterwards, because you will get oxidization on the surface that manifests usually in black finger marks. And I have actually seen an antique sword, a Japanese sword, which someone had put their fingers on, obviously looking at it in the antique shop, and then it had been put away in the scabbard and no one knew that the blade had been touched, and it had a perfect fingerprint in black oxidization on the blade. So in actual fact, that shop owner, you know, what could they do? That happens sometimes, but if they wanted to track the person down, they've got a perfect fingerprint on the blade there. And they had to send the sword off to be professionally repolished, which is obviously expensive, especially with a Japanese sword. As you know, the special processes for polishing Japanese swords. But even with a modern replica sword, it's really annoying. And you know, I mean, I can clean these marks off myself with a special buffing wheel and polishing compound, but you don't really want to have to do it. So, basic rule is don't touch blades. However, obviously if you're demonstrating half swording or disarming or other techniques, it's necessary, you're going to have to touch blades. And clearly your training blades, the ones you're using every week and get thrown in your kit bag at the end of class, are likely to get handled just because that happens in training. And partly it's the techniques we do, and partly just because they just get picked up and put down and people don't think about it too much. So try not to handle carbon steel blades if you can avoid it. But usually it can't be avoided, and just wipe the blade just with an oily rag. You don't need to make the blade very oily. Just get like WD-40, something like that, and have it impregnated in a rag, like a duster rag, and just rub the blade up and down afterwards, and that should be enough to prevent. But if you can do what I do, which is leave a very thin oily residue on the blade, that means even if someone does touch it, it's probably not going to do any damage, even if it gets left for a long time. Okay, I hope that's of some use to some people. Cheers!